Right, Ace Academy time. Let's load 3. Select the one. We had the alarm happen here. My alarm snaps me out of my slumber. With a groan, I reach outside my blanket in search of the coveted snooze button. 5:45 AM. What possessed me to set my alarm at such an ungodly hour? Oh right, the physical education class I have this morning. Any normal human would have picked a more reasonable time for this course, which explains why the time slot was the only one available. I climb out of bed and begin my morning routine. After getting ready, I head downstairs to the empty living room. Kaito and Nikki must still be asleep. Like any other normal person. You think about 5:45? Yeah, if I have to actually go to school, I wake up at 5 AM, so... I power feast through breakfast and head on my way. An eventful drive later, I'm waiting outside of the gymnasium. Some zombie-like students wait with me. The rest are passed out on the campus benches. A cheerful voice, too cheery for the current time of day, breaks through my reverie, and I see 2 familiar faces approaching. Sho is beaming, but I can't say the same about Kiori. Her eyes are hardly open and she yawns, barely mustering another acknowledgement. I'm with Kiori in this one. I rub my eyes, barely able to stay conscious.
Aw, you're not a morning person either?
Before I get a chance to reply, Sho smacks my back hard and is able a few paces. Kiori staggers too. She whips around and stumps the food towards Sho, her dry expression is replaced with one of fire.
Ow! What was that for?
Just waking you both up for a wonderful day of gym class.
Kira and I both shoot piercing glares towards Sho. I am going to end him.
Not before I do.
Sho steps back, his hands going up defensively.
Whoa, guys, chillax.
Right, where's the hammer?
So scary.
What are you two picking this is your time slot for the course?
We could ask the same for you.
I transferred to the program late, so this is the only class available. Kiori crosses her arms.
I guess that makes sense.
And you guys?
We were originally in a later class, but decided to change out.
Any reason why? Sho looks at Kiori, she sighs before shrugging her shoulders.
Remember when we told you about us forming our own team because it didn't work out with the previous one?
Yeah?
Let's just say, we all decided to pick the same gym class to train together, but as you know, it didn't work out.
Sounds more like a falling out. Sho rubs the back of his head.
Something like that. In any case, we figured it'd be easier to switch out than deal with that awkwardness every week.
Drop it for now. I guess that makes sense. We hear a click as the building door unlocks.
Sorry for the wait, everyone. We had a little issue with the gym schedule, but that's now been resolved. Please make your way to the locker rooms, then meet at Gymnasium 3.
Awesome! We'll see you there, Kaori. Come with me, Brosif.
She'll push me towards the men's locker room. We quickly changed into our uniforms, and then Sho and I head towards the gym. Even with all the training equipment inside, the space still feels huge. Flags and banners from past victories hang on the walls and ceiling. Typical of Ace Academy, everything looks pristine.
Hello?
Sho's Sho's voice snaps you back to reality. Yeah, what's up?
Jeez, zoning out like that when I'm asking you such an important question? It's almost like you don't care.
Sorry, what did you ask?
What's your favorite flavor of Dango?
This important question, he says. I think he and I have different definitions of what is an important question. I suppose it's something in my peripheral vision distracts me for answering. Whoa. A group of girls enter the gym wearing nothing but their panties and a t-shirt. This can't be right. I rub my eyes, but the magical sight remains in full focus. What's going on?
Huh?
The girls over there just walk around in their panties. She'll glance excitedly, but deflates a second later.
What are you talking about, Broseph?
Oh, right. How are you not seeing this?
See what? Girls wearing their gym uniforms?
It's incredibly revealing. She stares for a moment.
I still don't get it. That's what they've always worn, ever since elementary school. Actually, now that you mention it...
I watch as Show's face reddens.
My god! What have you done? I won't be able to focus in this class anymore.
Come on, I couldn't have been the only one seeing this.
You were. I was desensitized to this from childhood because my memories never associated this attire with perversion, and thus there was nothing to be perverted about.
Oh boy. What the heck are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I'm too distracted to think clearly.
What are you two yelling about?
We both spin around to see Kiori. She's also wearing what no one in their right mind would dub a gym uniform. Her porcelain legs are completely free of blemish, and the way the material shows off her body makes it clear she works hard to stay fit. That second option, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, let's continue on with what we're doing. How can she wear something like this? I don't expect you to wear something so revealing, Kaori. She quirks an eyebrow, her hand instinctively going to her hip.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Your pants. Or rather, the lack thereof. She looks down for a second before shooting me an unimpressed glare.
This gym uniform offers the most range of motion.
I suppose to make sense. What do you think, Sho? She doesn't respond. I'm sure he's been zoned out for the last few minutes just staring at her. Kiori shifts uncomfortably, tucking one leg behind the other.
Sho!
Kiori stomps forward and slugs Sho on the arm.
Stop!
Hey, why are you only mad at me? He was doing it too.
He's just an idiot. You are doing it because you're a pervert.
Sho crosses his arms defiantly.
Just because I admire the female figure from a safe distance away without their knowledge does not make me a pervert!
You're really not helping your case here, buddy. A few moments go by as we wait for class to start. By the way, have you guys thought about what we should do for sponsorship?
Not quite.
No.
Sho and I both glance at Kiori in surprise, and she crosses her arms.
What?
You're usually on top of this stuff.
I've been busy. This team isn't the only thing I focus on.
Before Sho can say anything else, I intervene. That's okay. I might have a lead anyway.
Really?
She doesn't need to sound so surprised. Yeah, you know the SBA? They both nod. I know somebody who works for them. She's agreed to help us find a sponsor. Sho claps me on the back.
This is why I chose you to join our team. You make things happen.
Do I now? Are you sure it's not because I was the only person available? Kiori snorts, but Sho is unfazed.
That too.
Sho is about to speak again when Kiori shushes him.
Be quiet. Class is about to start.
The professor waits for the room to quiet down before he begins the class. The professor dismisses the dismisses the class, and the three of us file out together. My muscles are already fatigued and my limbs tremble. I know I'm going to be sore tomorrow. Sho groans.
My legs feel like they're on fire.
I grunt in sympathy, too tired to respond. Kiori power walks ahead of us.
Class wasn't that hard.
Sho and I stare at each other. I whisper to him. How is she doing that right now?
She's a cyborg, a human mecha hybrid.
Makes sense to me. Once we're outside, Cho waves goodbye.
Well, that was fun. I got some stuff to take care of, though. I'll catch you on the flip side, Gowry, Mr. Broseph.
Same. I'll talk to you guys later.
We all say goodbye. Yuna. I did. I dial Yuna's number and wait for her to answer.
Hello?
Hey Yuna, it's Rue. I was wondering if you got some time to hang out. Maybe we can have another tennis match?
I'd love to, but I've got class in about half an hour. I was about to stop and grab a coffee. Would you like to join me?
Yeah, sounds great too. I'll meet you in the cafe.
Okay, see you soon.
We hang up and I walk to the cafe. Yuna's already there by the time I arrive. She sits at a table near the window. After ordering myself a coffee, I join her. She smiles at acknowledgement as I sit down. So, what class do you have next?
Just one of my PHPT degree requirement classes. It's not one of the more interesting ones, so I'm not too excited about going. Do you have any more classes today?
Nope, all done for the day.
That must be nice.
Her eyes sparkle as she sips her coffee.
So, how are you spending your free time between classes? Anything fun?
It varies. I go to the library to study or chill in the pilot lounge. Generally, I like to spend some quality time with my gear.
Ah,
She glances at the teal stripes of her uniform and she takes a sip of her coffee.
what made you decide to be a pilot?
Well, my dad was an engineer and I grew up building mechs with him. He and I actually built Eagle together.
Eagle must be really special to you then.
Yeah.
So why didn't you go into engineering?
My dad always wanted to be a pilot, but he was colorblind so he could never become one. He always encouraged me to be a pilot instead. I never even considered doing anything else. Don't get me wrong, I'm not just doing it because my dad wanted me to. I love piloting. It's just something I always knew I wanted to do. What about you?
I actually almost joined the pilot program.
Really? What changed your mind? She hesitates, the words are on her lips, but she's debating whether or not to say them.
There were a lot of factors, but the biggest reason I chose to study PHPT is because pilot health and safety is frequently overlooked. Pilots go through a rigorous training process, and people don't consider the long-term effects that training has on a person, especially when you're talking about G-force training and the like. Being a pilot can take more of a toll on your body than you know.
Well, you can check my health any day. I feel safer just knowing you're out here looking for me. She blushes.
I'll try my best.
So, pilot of an physiotherapy. Does that encompass mental health as well as physical?
Yes, definitely. Most people tend to forget that a healthy mind is just as important as a healthy body, but an unhealthy mind can just be as destructive, if not more so, than an unhealthy body.
Ask more about pilot mental health. I admit I'm a little guilty of forgetting that myself. Is there currently a large emphasis on mental health screenings for pilots, or is this an ever-evolving process?
It's an ever-evolving process, and unfortunately, it usually takes a tragedy before people realize there's a flaw in the system.
Really? She nods.
Obviously, a pilot has to pass a mental health evaluation before he can earn his license, but that screening needs to be more rigorous and more frequent.
What do you mean?
Some mental illnesses are easily diagnosed, but some are more tricky and some can disappear and reappear, like depression or addictions. Those are hard conditions to spot because for the most part, they must be self-reported. But if a pilot knows that he may lose his license because he has this condition, he may not report it. It could reach a level where he would not only endanger himself, but those around him.
Shouldn't his colleagues or teammates report him if they notice the pilot's changed behavior?
They absolutely should, but the way the current system works, the responsibility falls on the pilot himself and not his peers. Pilots who are on anxiety or depression medication can also be disqualified from earning their license just because of the medication use alone.
Isn't it kind of punishing the pilot for treating his condition?
There are arguments for both sides. The pilot is being punished for treating his condition, and because he uses the medication, he should be considered to be in sound mind. On the other hand, someone who is using the medication has a greater potential for significant underlying psychiatric or psychologic problems, and the side effects of medication is always unpredictable, so they're considered a risk.
Huh, I guess both sides make sense. Which side are you on? Yuna's eyes flash.
I'm a strong advocate for reform. We need pilots to understand the severity of these conditions, and we can't encourage an environment of secrecy because that is what puts lives at risk.
She pauses, then her cheeks flush.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you.
It's okay, I'm just glad someone like you is here to fight for what's best for us pilots. Yuna checks the time.
I need to get going. Sorry for lecturing you.
No, don't be. I think it's great that you're so passionate about this. Passion is what creates change. She smiles brightly.
I'll see you later, okay?
Yeah, see ya. She gathers her things and leaves. I finish up my coffee, then follow her out of the cafe. I'm basically done for the day, but I don't feel like going home just yet. I wander the campus aimlessly and decide what I want to do. Study at the library. I should stay on top of my classes and get some studying done. I'm more familiar with the campus now and have no trouble finding the library. Students lounge in the open areas, a coffee on one hand and a book in the other. It reminds me of C-I when Y. I guess something's just translated across cultures. Now, I'm a little surprised by how many students are here so early in the semester, and it takes me a while to find an empty desk. I'm finally found one on the 3rd floor. It's not as secluded as I'd like it to be, but it'll do. Setting into my desk, I can't help but note all the graffiti. Yep, some things really don't change. Pulling out my tablet, I get to work. After about half an hour, I'm interrupted by a student at the desk beside me. He's wearing straps in his uniform, so he must be a pilot.
Sorry to bother you. I don't know if you recognize me or not, but we have piloting 101 together.
He looks vaguely familiar, but we've never spoken before. I nod.
I was wondering if you can help me with a question.
Sure.
For what use were gear initially developed?
Oh boy. Government? I think it was for government use. It was transformed to commercial use only after receiving government approval. He frowns.
That doesn't sound right. But thanks anyway. Oh yeah, I think I remember reading that. Thanks.
This is the one I chose. I wanted to know what the real answer was though.
That doesn't sound right.
He returns to his desk and refocuses on his studies. I'm disappointed I got it wrong. Maybe I need to study harder. Nobody else bothers me after that, and I'm able to complete my study in peace. My phone rings and Yuna's name flashes on the screen. I should be chatting on the phone in the quiet study places. I pick up my tablet and head into the group study room where talking is allowed. Hi Yuna, how goes the search?
Actually, that's why I called you. I have some good news.
What is it?
I got you an interview.
Already? It's only been a day. How'd you do it?
Lots of phone calls.
I laugh. Thanks Yuna, this is great.
I know. It's with Warp Tech Corporation.
I nearly dropped the phone. How'd you get a mayor player like Warptech interested in us?
I told them the truth. You guys are a strong up-and-coming team. And with the right sponsor there to support you, you'll be unstoppable.
Thanks. We definitely have an advantage if we had access to Warptech's weaponry. When is the interview?
Yeah, about that.
Her hesitation is ominous.
Your interview tomorrow.
Okay. I'll be there. They're the boss before Yuna speaks.
Oh, good.
Is something wrong?
No, I was just expecting you to protest a little more.
Why?
Well, it's pretty short notice.
Okay.
Never mind.
I need to call my team. I don't know if they'll be able to make it.
They don't all need to be there. As long as one member of the team is there, the interview can happen. Can you make it?
I need time to prepare, especially if I'm going alone.
No, I'll be there. And as a member of the SBA, I'll be taking the lead in presenting your credentials. I've got everything under control.
Alright, I'll make my own preparations tonight and meet you tomorrow.
Great! I'll meet you in front of the library after class.
Thanks again, Yuna. I owe you one.
It was my pleasure.
We both hang up. The first thing I do is send a group text to my team. Got an interview with Raptr Corp tomorrow afternoon. Can any of you join? Okay, if can't, I have it under control. A few minutes after I send the text, I receive a reply, some show, which is no surprise, he always frequently quick to respond. Brosov, I'll be hanging Fritz on a dock plan. I literally have no idea what that means. I text him back. Sorry, I text him back. I don't know if I voiced it there. So you mean yes? Yeah, you're funny. Good luck, let me know how it goes. At least I got my answer. 1 down, 2 more to go. I still got some time before I need to go home. How are we? I'm finally done with classes for the day. For some reason, I'm strangely tired and I don't feel much like hanging around campus. I'll go home and rest up. What? Okay, no, that happens here. Sure. I walk to the parking lot to spot my bike where I left it. As soon as I reach it, a sleek white car pulls up and blocks the exit. The car is in the window, so it looks like something way out of my price range. As I can only see the back of the car, I guess it might be a Panther. Although the engine is still running, there's no movement from the car. That's kind of weird. Are they waiting for someone? If so, I wish they'd pick up a different spot. How am I supposed to leave with the block in the exit? Besides, wouldn't it make more sense to pick up someone closer towards the campus and not in the heart of the parking lot? I hop on my bike as I ponder those questions. These questions even. Just as I'm about to go back out, the passenger door opens and a smooth leg steps out. Following the leg is a cute girl with red hair. Wait a minute. That's Kiori. No, stay still. I pause on my bike, ready to watch the scene unfold. I'm far enough away that Kiori won't spot me. The driver's side door opens and an older man steps out. He looks European, definitely not Japanese. I guess he's in his mid-30s and I can tell he keeps in shape by the way his shirt clings his biceps. He reaches into the back of the car and hands Kiori a bag. With a wide smile, he envelops her into a hug. I wait for the inevitable slap, but it never happens. Instead, Kiori accepts the hug without protest. How is he so calm right now? She's even smiling back at him. He tries to linger in the hug, but Kiori gently pulls away and waves goodbye to him. The man waves back as he returns in his car and drives off. As she heads back towards the campus, her path leads straight toward my parked bike. Hey Kiori. She jumps slightly at my voice.
Oh, it's you.
She glances behind her and sighs with relief when the white car's nowhere in sight.
What are you doing here?
I was on my way home. Just pick up my bike so I can go home.
Oh, right, of course.
What about you?
Heading to my dorm.
Ah, okay. What were you up to today?
Does it matter?
Just curious. I want to learn more about you. Her expression softens slightly and I think I see a faint blush of pink on her cheeks.
It's nothing. Just a thing I went to.
Leave it alone. I respect Kiori's privacy and trust that she'll let me know when she's ready. Alright, if you say so. She nods.
I'm going now. I'll see you later.
Yeah, later. I wonder what that was all about. As soon as Kiori is out of view, I kick my bike into gear and head home. As soon as I get home, Nikki jumps off the couch and greets me.
There
you are. What took you so long?
What? She has her hands on her hips and taps her foot impatiently. Did I forget we have plans tonight? Turn around on her. I cross my arms and mimic her impatience. The better question is, what took you so long?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I've been waiting forever for you to come home.
Home? Oh, I guess we didn't have plans. Why?
Well, I have some exciting news.
Nikki sits down on the couch and I follow her. What is it?
Remember when you suggested I start a cooking club at school?
Oh boy. Yeah?
I took your advice and spoke with the school administration and they loved the idea. I already have a teacher who's agreed to sponsor the club and a few of my classmates have approached me asking if they could join.
That's awesome, Nikki.
I know. I was thinking of structuring it so that we can learn a new dish each week and anyone can share a dish so it's not just me leading everything. Our first meeting is next week, and I thought I could start us off by teaching something simple and non-Japanese.
She pauses and looks thoughtfully at me.
What do you think I should make?
Sandwich. Big sandwiches. Everyone loves sandwiches.
Yeah. Because everyone already knows how to make them.
Maybe they know how to make normal sandwiches, but not necessarily the fancy tiny ones that are gone in one bite.
You mean finger sandwiches?
Jeez, Nikki, that's morbid.
Let me guess. Those are the only foods you can make.
Of course not. I know how to make mac and cheese.
Eating stuff from a box? That's not cooking.
Oi. I can make spaghetti.
Uh-huh. Maybe you should join our club.
And that's my cue to leave.
No, don't go. I was just kidding.
I laugh. I know, but I've got some studying I need to do anyway.
Okay.
Congratulations on getting your club started. I bet it'll end up being the most popular club on your school.
Thanks. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I like having a smallish size group so we can all interact easily. But having a larger group means more exposure to new foods. Anyway, that's getting way ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, you still need to decide what you're going to do for your first meeting.
Some help you've been.
I laugh and begin to head upstairs. You know you still love me.
That's what you think.
She waves goodbye anyway. Once in my room, I settled down at my desk and began collecting research and statistics I can present at the interview. I want to be well informed, especially if I'm going to be representing my team. Wait, did Kira Meyer ever respond to my text? I quickly check my phone. A quick check on my phone shows me they did. I open Meyer's text first. I hope it doesn't cause you much trouble if I don't go, but I have a previous engagement and can't make it. Best of luck. I shrug, at least she was nice about it. Next I open Kiri's text. But he's got the info so soon. Of course I can't make it, don't mess this up. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Kiri. At least you know I'll be there to back me up. I read over my notes a few more times till I'm confident about what I'll say, then I head to bed early so I can be well rested tomorrow. I wake up after the first sound of my alarm and hop out of bed. Today is the interview. As I get dressed, I practice my speech in my head. Breakfast goes by in a blur as I try to anticipate what questions they will ask me. Before long, I reach the campus. As if in a daze, I go to class and take a seat by the window.
Good morning, class. I hope you are all prepared for the pop quiz.
Pop quiz? I didn't hear about a pop quiz.
You are absolutely right. That is why, young man, it is called a pop quiz.
The only person who is amused by that is the professor. He hands out one page out to each student, and soon I am staring at a sheet of questions. I breezed through the quiz. These questions are so easy since the material is a repeat of what I studied at CINY. I spent some time completing the rest of the questions. With my quiz complete, I handed it in the front of the class. Thank you. I nod and return to my seat. The professor waits for the rest of the class to finish before beginning the lesson.
That is all for today. Have a good afternoon.
As soon as class is dismissed, I rush out of the building. I'm not sure why I'm in such a hurry. I still have a few hours before I need to meet Yuna. I wonder what I should do to pass the time. Mayu. I'm just randomly going to select names every time. I go to the library to study. I sit down at the secluded desk between the stacks of books. After a couple of minutes, I think I hear a muffled thumping as someone is trying to quiet the jumping. Following the noise is a nearby stack. I see Mayu balancing on her toes, trying to reach a book from the top shelf. Her fingers barely graze the ledge of the shelf. She tries to daintily hop, but still fails to reach the book. As she sighs, she pouts and readies herself to try again. Intervene. Stifling a laugh, I walk over and easily pull out the book that she needs. Mayu blinks at me as I hand it to her.
Oh, thank you.
She hugs the book to her chest and stares shyly at the ground. No problem, it seemed like you could use some help there. Her cheeks redden as she nods. I take another look at the book she's holding. Isn't it a Piloting 101 textbook?
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess you're working on the assignment now?
Yeah.
She gives me a strange look. I only know this because I have to retake Piloting 101. I'm not stalky or anything.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
There's a long pause. Maya refuses to make eye contact with me, and I'm worried I might have scared her when she suddenly speaks.
Why do you have to take Piloting 101 again?
As soon as the words leave her mouth, her eyes grow wide and her blush deepens.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
I can't help but grin at her reaction. No, don't worry, it's a normal question. Basically, my credits from CI1OI didn't transfer. Apparently, some of the material is different here for the introductory course, but so far everything we've covered has been the same.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and that said, since I've taken this class before, if you ever need help, feel free to ask me. She smiles.
That would be great.
We stand in silence again. She seems like she wants to ask me something, but is too shy to say it. Offer to help her now. Would you like any help now?
Sure. But only if it's not too much trouble.
Of course not. I always have time for my friends. Her eyes meet mine when I say friends, before she quickly looks away again. Another blush stains her cheeks. Despite that, she smiles and nods. We sit down at the desk together and I go over my notes with her. As we settle at the desk, I pull out my tablet and Maya pulls out a spiral notebook. She opens her textbook and flips to the correct page, then opens her notebook to a fresh page. A pencil as she at the ready, she begins to read the text. I watch her curiously as she meticulously writes her notes in fine print. After a couple of minutes, she looks up and our eyes meet for a second before she looks away. A blush stains her cheeks. Are you writing your notes? Maya seems self-conscious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's actually really cool. That's awesome. She blinks, surprised.
You don't think it's weird?
I shake my head. No way, people are too dependent on technology these days, anyway. Yes and no. It does also really depend on how you easily learn. I, for some reason, remember things a lot easier if I write them down on my iPad, which is why I make my notes on that. I notes my tablet, including me. Mayu smiles.
For me, I just learn better when I write it down.
Really? She nods. How'd you get into that habit?
I wasn't allowed to have electronics when I was growing up.
I can't remember the last time I was without my tablet. How do you survive? Mayu giggles.
Well, it wasn't so bad. I think that's where I got my love of books. I wasn't allowed to play games very often, but Father always encouraged reading. He said he didn't want me to get distracted from my studies, so that's why I wasn't allowed to have a tablet.
It sounds like your father takes your education very seriously.
He does. I was in high school when I got my first tablet, but by then I was so used to using a pen and paper that typing out my notes felt unnatural.
Well, the upside of writing all the time is that your handwriting is really neat. I wouldn't be able to read my notes if I ever wrote anything down. If I wrote everything down, sorry. Mayu giggles.
I'm sure that's not true.
I read somewhere once that a person's handwriting can say a lot about them.
Oh, really?
Well, your character all very neat and small. Your strokes are slightly rounded, not angular or spiky.
What does that mean?
You're an introvert. It means you tend to be more shy and avoid confrontation. You also have a tendency to be more creative. Maya seems pleased.
That actually sounds accurate.
The handwriting doesn't lie. Anyway, we should focus on the assignment.
Right.
She turns back to her text and I return to mine. As I'm reading, I can see Maya glancing at me out of the corner of my eye. I look up.
Well, do you think you could explain this passage to me?
I grin. Of course. I continue to help her until her assignment is complete. Yuna is already waiting for me at the library. A tablet with the SBA logo is clutched in her hand. She smiles and breathes a sigh of relief when she sees me.
Oh, good. You're still wearing your uniform. I forgot to tell you yesterday to wear it, and remembered too late to text you.
Oh, I was so preoccupied on what I would say today that I forgot to think about what I'd wear. No worries. I hope my voice sounds more confident than I feel. Yuna notices the waver in my voice. She places a hand on my shoulder. The heat of her hand soothes my nerves and I relax a little bit.
Okay, well, are you ready to go?
Yeah. She starts towards the bus stop when I stop her. I can drive us. Her cheeks turn pink, but she grins widely. I'm immediately reminded of how her face looked the last time she saw my bike.
That would be great.
I lead her to my bike and we both hop on with ease. Once she's settled, we speed off. Yuna directs me towards where to go and eventually tells me to park in front of an impressive building. It's narrow, but shoots straight into the sky, cutting through the clouds. As we walk in, a perky receptionist greets us from behind her desk.
Welcome to WorkTap Corporation. How may I help you?
Yuna steps forward.
I'm Yuna Misaki from Ace Academy's SBA. We have an appointment with Mr. Takeda.
The receptionist smiles and gestures to the empty chairs.
Of course. If you'll please take a seat, he'll be with you shortly.
As soon as we take our seats, the receptionist types a rapid sequence into her computer, then drags the document from her monitor onto her tablet and disappears into the hall in the back. I glance at Yuna. She's meticulously going over her notes. Are you nervous? She thinks for a minute.
Not as much as I thought I'd be. Are you?
Nobody can resist these What? Oh. Yeah, I'm either really nervous or really hungry. My stomach is in knots. Yuna smiles encouragingly.
Don't worry, you'll do great.
Her confidence helps ease my nerves, and I smile back. I'm glad to have you with me here. You're here with me. Whoops. A blush creeps into her cheeks, but she seems pleased. The receptionist comes back and gestures for us to follow her. Her ponytail bounces behind her as she walks briskly down the hall and directs us into a spacious office. A portly older man sits behind an old-fashioned mahogany desk. Mahogany, yes. His jowls wiggle as he offers us seats, which we both take. The walls are painted white, but one wall has a translucent sheen with Yuna's SPA submission packet projected on it. His chair squeaks in protest as he leans forward to greet us.
Miss Misaki, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you for agreeing to meet with us, Mr. Takeda. I'd like to introduce my associate.
I'm OSRiddle. It's nice to meet you, sir. He nods in acknowledgement while Yuna continues.
He is here to represent his team at Ace Academy.
And you are in need of a sponsor.
Yes, sir. He waves a hand towards the wall and shovels the data on there.
As you can see, Miss Misaki did a detailed job of describing you and your team in your application. But I'd like to hear from you. Tell me about yourself.
Oh boy. I've always had an interest in gear. I grew up in the world of gears and knew only from an early age that I wanted to be a pilot. While a student at CINY, I began my program in piloting and earned top marks in all my classes. I recently transferred and tested into the pilot program at Ace Academy, where I'm pursuing my degree in piloting.
As a transfer student, that's not an easy program to test into.
He sounds impressed.
Tell me, out of all your other options, why did you choose Warp Tech Corporation?
You're the best around. It was an easy decision. Warp Tech Corporation sets the standards for gear weaponry. I read about your latest announcement of the advancement in particular technology. Some output on beam weaponry while reducing core usage by 50%. None of your competitors have made a breakthrough like that yet.
There has also been some controversy over that release.
Some are saying that using the new technology will affect the longevity of a weapon, but there's no proof of that yet. I prefer to see evidence than believe rumors. He nods.
It's refreshing to see a young person keeping up to date with the latest releases.
I like a hint of approval in his voice.
Okay, and why should Warp Tech Corporation choose you? In other words, what sets you apart from the competition?
Oh boy. We're a breath of fresh air. As a new team, we aren't so set in our ways that we stifle creativity. We're not afraid to try new strategies that we think will benefit the team, and we're receptive to feedback. That said, we're also acutely aware of our abilities. We work well together because we are upfront with each other, and not only about our strengths but also about our weaknesses, and we use that knowledge to our advantage. I sneak a peek at Yuna, who looks pleased. Mr. Takeda seems to appreciate my answer as well.
Well, I think I've heard enough for now. Miss Misaki, do you have a copy of your team's qualifier transcripts?
Yes, of course.
She flips on her tablet and flicks the document onto the projected wall. The interview seems to be going well. I glance at Yuna, who smiles encouragingly at me. Mr. Takeda takes a quick glance at the file and frowns.
Your team is only ranked 21?
Yes, sir. He signs and turns off the projection.
You seem generally passionate about your team and your studies, and perhaps if the circumstances were different we would consider your candidacy. Unfortunately, Warp Tech only accepts teams who are ranked within the top 10 from Ace Academy.
As I'm still processing the rejection, Yuna protests on my behalf.
Mr. Takeda, couldn't you make an exception? You said yourself that if rank weren't a factor, his team would be a strong candidate. A representation by you would make a significant difference in their growth and development, and their success reflects positively on you and your company.
That is entirely true.
I'm sorry, Miss Misaki. I do believe with skills like his, he will find a sponsor. Just not with us.
Won't you even give him a chance?
Miss Misaki, I'm sure you understand the image that we have built and what would happen to that image if we stop recruiting from the top 10. I thank you very much for your interest in us and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
His voice has a hard edge of finality. He gestures towards the door, then returns attention to his desk. All pretense is dropped. Yuna storms out of the office, while I follow calmly behind. This moment makes my feet feel heavy. As I leave the building, Yuna whirls to face me.
What? A hypocrite! How can his company promote taking risks when he won't take any himself? I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It's okay. It was a long shot anyway. Even though we didn't get sponsorship, I still appreciate you helping me out.
Don't give up just yet. I will get you a sponsor.
Ooh. Leaving less to the imagination might work in our favor. We should show more of our assets next time. Wait, what?
I doubt that would work.
That's not the reaction I expected. I've never seen this serious before. I'm not sure what else we could try. Without waiting for me to answer, she hops on the back of my bike. I get on after her and start the engine. Yuna is quiet the entire way back to campus. When we arrive, she gives me a hurried goodbye and rushes off, leaving me wondering just what she has planned. Well, sitting here and stewing on my thoughts is productive. I have some time before I need to go home. Maybe someone will be free. Sho. Oh, good grief. Let's see if Sho wants to hang out at the arcade or something. I call and he picks up after a few rings.
What's up?
Let's go to the arcade. You busy?
Yep, I'm on a date right now.
My bad. Enjoy. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to disturb you. I'll leave you to it.
Wait, Brosif, I was just kidding.
Okay.
I'm glad you think I can get a date, though.
Sure. This is awkward. Anyway, want to meet up at the arcade?
Yeah.
After hanging up, I head out to the arcade. As I enter the building, I spot Sho waving at me. As soon as I join him, he leads me deeper into the arcade. Where are we going?
To a game which will showcase our skills.
But the gear simulators are the other way.
Not those skills.
Sho steps in one of shooting game and pulls out a gun at the holster.
Shall we see who the better marksman is?
The game has inbuilt sensors so we can duck to the side, take over or peek out and the game will read the movement. It's a team-based game, but it sounds like Sho wants to turn it into a competition. You're on. How about we raise the stakes?
I like the sound of that. What were you thinking?
Loser buys to win a lunch for a whole week.
I never took you for a gambling man.
Keeps things spicy. It keeps things interesting.
Alright then, may the best man win.
We throw a couple of tokens into the machine. Once the game loads, we jump straight into the action. Sho takes the lead. And leads us straight into an enemy encampment.
You're falling behind, Brosip. Ah!
A large wave of enemies spawn on Sho's side.
Ah crap, I'm pinned. Give me some cover.
Help Sho. It's still a team game. Alright, I'm going in. I take out the shooters, pinning him down.
I knew you'd pull through. Time to finish off this wave.
Yep. We clear the game over, we aren't fast enough to make the leaderboard. Maybe if we hadn't spent the beginning competing, it might have been different.
Not bad.
Yeah. After a shooting match, we head for the gear simulators.
Aw, no way!
There's a long line which snake around some other gaming stations.
Well, I guess I should have expected this.
Why are there so many people?
It's because of the new update to the simulators.
Update?
The arcade has new prototype weapons by Eludian Enterprises installed into the sim.
Huh. I wonder what kind of weapons.
Not sure, but I can't wait to find out.
You're pretty excited about this. He scratches his head and wears a sheepish grin.
Yeah, it's because I really do like gears.
What got you into them in the first place? She looks like he's struggling to find the words.
Nah, it's stupid.
I'm sure it's not. You can tell me. It's strange to see him look so serious. After a few more seconds of hesitation, Sho finally speaks.
I got beat up a lot as a kid.
Now I feel like a jerk. I didn't know. He takes a deep breath.
I was always the one being picked on in class or after school. That's why I hung out alone a lot. Then one year, my mom bought me this sweet gear action figure for my birthday. Man, I loved that thing. It was so awesome. But the kids from my class, they pulled it from my hands and laughed as the leader smashed it against the concrete.
Oh man.
I sat there, my eyes red from crying, and I thought, if only I had a real gear.
Sho, I'm sorry. He doesn't faze me. If I had known this was such a sensitive topic, I wouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's good to finally talk about it, you know?
Suddenly, his body starts shaking. Are you alright? Look, I didn't mean to bring up. Wait, don't tell me.
I can't believe you actually fell for it!
Alright. Time to beat you up. Give me back my sympathies. I'll take back every nice thing I just said.
I'm sorry. It was just too good to resist. Maybe I should give up my piloting career to become an actor.
Don't push it. So what's the real story? Sho shrugs.
There isn't one. There's just a feeling, you know? Being inside the cockpit, your hands on the control panels, and the only thing you see out of your visuals is down the barrel of your opponent's rifle.
You mean you like the thrill? Didn't take you for an adrenaline junkie.
That's not exactly it. In a match, everyone is an equal. You could be the son of the president or missing a leg or whatever, and none of that matters. All that matters is if you have what it takes to win.
Well, matches aren't really equal. If you're a son of a president, you could have the best equipped gear in the nation, which will obviously give you the advantage over the gear of average equipment.
True, which is why matches held between standard gears are my favorite. Then it really is based on skill alone.
Shows are usually serious and speaks in earnest. Although he's still smiling, it's not his usual goofy grin. He might come off as someone who doesn't take anything seriously, but after what he just shared, I get a feeling this facade hides a mind that is observant and alert. Interesting.
I don't share that with a lot of people. I don't think they'd understand.
I don't really know what to say. Luckily, Sho's signature grin returns.
Anyway, good talk.
You can talk to me anytime. I got your back.
That's great, because there was something else on my mind.
Oh boy. Wow, so soon? Sho just laughs. The line dwindles as we move talking, and before we know it, it's our turn.
Looks like we're next.
Sho and I take our places inside simulation pods, and we continue to battle each other until Sho has to leave. I'm in a happier mood when I arrive home. Hey guys, I'm home.
You can't just decide that without telling me.
I'm gonna go. Kaito's voice stops me. I can see him basing Mecha4 in the kitchen.
So cut it short. This is the opening day of my new restaurant. They'll expect me to be there, and they'll expect you there too.
As I get close to the kitchen, I can hear a woman's voice on the other side of the line.
I really don't care. Part of our arrangement was that we'd consult each other before making a decision, and you didn't. So how you're supposed to be in two places at once really isn't my problem.
A flurry of muffled words on the line, as Kaito frowning deeper and deeper.
Don't forget, we are still married. We promised to do whatever it took to make sure nothing interfered with our careers. Well, if you don't show up, then that will certainly interfere with my career.
Married? Is he talking about Aunt Yuki? There's a pause. I think I hear her say, I'll see what I can do, and hang up. Kaito slams the phone on the table, then falls into a chair and holds his head in his hands. Hey, Kaito. He glances up and gives me a weak smile.
You're back. How was school today?
Good. I sit beside him. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I heard you talking to Aunt Yuki just now. He looks a little uneasy, but waits for me to finish. What do you mean by still married? Isn't Aunt Yuki just away on business?
Sort of.
Kaito sighs wearily and rubs his temples.
I suppose you're old enough to know the truth. Your aunt and I are separated. We have been for the last 6 months.
The last 6 months? But you aren't divorced?
No.
How come we didn't know? We're your family.
We had to keep it quiet. Divorce is viewed differently here in Japan. It's not as common as in the States, and Yuki and I don't want our personal issues to interfere with our careers.
I remember the stories Mom told me about how difficult it was when she and Dad first got married. She couldn't have stayed in Japan even if she wanted to. If you two are just separated, does that mean Aunt Yuki is Hiro Nishikaze?
Yes.
I get it. I know Japan has stricter rules of family and what's proper, so I don't blame you for keeping this a secret from us. Kaito grins in relief.
You don't know how much that means to me, kid.
Are you going to tell Nikki? He thinks before responding.
Yes, I will.
Do you think she'll be angry you lied? Nikki has always been more sensitive than I. He shrugs.
Maybe, but I think she's mature enough to understand why we did it.
Yeah, it must be exhausting hiding it from everyone.
It has been.
What did Aunt Yuki say when you told her we were living with you?
Well, about that.
Kaito trails off and reviews to meet my eyes. She doesn't know we're here?
No.
Were you planning on telling her?
Of course. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I nod. Uncle Kaito doesn't share anymore. But I can't stop myself from asking. Since we talk about it now, what happened between you two? He sighs.
Yuki was ready to have kids, and I wasn't. We discussed the possibility of having children when we first got married, and I kept pushing it back. I wanted to focus on my career, and for a while, so did she. But you know how women are. At some point, their biological clock starts ticking. She didn't want to wait anymore.
But you still weren't ready.
No. After that huge argument, we started to drive each other crazy. I became acutely aware of all those small things Yuki did that I hated. We fought all the time, and at some point, we agreed that this wasn't working anymore. And that's how it's been for the last 6 months until we can figure out a more permanent solution.
Heh, it's kind of funny that even you thought you weren't ready for kids. Okay, that line just... I don't know what happened there. Heh, it's kind of funny that even though you weren't ready for kids, you ended up with them anyway. He grins.
You guys don't count. You practically take care of yourselves. I'm just here to provide the roof.
Gee, thanks. Maybe it's a good thing you didn't have kids. He laughs. So what's this phone call tonight about? Kaito turns solemn again.
Part of our agreement for our separation was that we will both do whatever it takes to keep up the pretense of marriage when it involves our careers.
Oh, why not?
She's going on some sort of retreat with her girlfriend. Normally we consult with each other before booking any trips to prevent something like this from happening. But this time she didn't. I really need her there.
She'll be there. Don't worry, Aunt Yuki won't let you down.
I'm not so sure.
It sounds like you two had an amicable separation. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got nothing to worry about. She'll be there.
How can you be so sure?
Because she still cares for you and wouldn't want to hurt you. Kaito grins.
Who knew you were such a romantic?
What? No, I wrestle bears and stuff. He laughs.
I'm just teasing. Seriously. Thanks.
Uncle Kaito glances at the clock and stands.
I didn't realize how late it's gotten. I have an early start tomorrow.
Don't you always have an early start? You get up before I do.
True, but I have an even earlier start than usual.
Ick. We say goodnight and Kaito heads upstairs. I go to the living room and turn on the TV. After watching my shows and the news, I turn in for the night. Yeah, oh, okay, it's just going to do this. But that's it. We have absolutely made it through the 4th hour. So, yeah, I'll be returning to this later.